Welcome, Eddie.
Woohoo! Welcome, everyone.
So,
Maybe not everyone is here. Koen is here as well. Koen
Yes.
Herst. Woohoo!
Eddie van Dongen, Eddie van Dongen.
Darling.
We're going to keep this live stream online, right?
Yeah.
So let's start by introducing you. Who are you, Eddie?
My name is Eddie. Hello. I'm a educator, drummer. Played a lot of different things: theater shows, rock shows, funk, whatever, all kinds of stuff. But my passion is really in teaching and educating other drummers to become the best version they can be. And that's why we're here today, to share the passion of getting better drum fills.
Perfect, sounds good. And in 2 weeks, it's the 10th edition of my drum festival, Herfstfest, and Eddie will be there as well. So if you're in Belgium, UK, France, if you're in Europe, just drop by. It's going to be Sunday, October 13th, and it's the last edition of the drum festival. And you're going to do a clinic there as well.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to sit there and have a look at the comments, and you just start.
Let's get
right?
it started.
Have
Cool.
fun.
Thanks. Right. So thank you, Koen. We're gonna do this as a little extra promo for Herfstfest, and of course, everyone's welcome to join. And I'm happy that everyone's here. So we're gonna dive into some ideas of playing better drum fills and what it kind of means, to play a drum fill. Because as drummers, what we need to be able to play melodies, right? Not just a drum fill, but we need a kind of vocabulary that gives us the ability to play those melodies. And we want those melodies to be effortless, right? And actually, this is something that most drummers don't really realize, but we already have that vocabulary because it's our rudiments. And most importantly, singles and doubles, and a combination of singles and doubles. That's actually all we need. And it's more the question of how do we play those rudiments around the drum kit? How do we apply them over the drum kit so that it sounds awesome? And you create this kind of melody around the drum kit, right? So if this sounds a little vague to you, see it as if you're a writer. Let's take J.K. Rowling as an example. Did she use any new letters in that book? Did she use any new words in that book that we didn't know? Probably not, right? It would be weird to pick up that book, you'd go through it and you're like, I know these letters, I know these words, I'm not gonna read this. That's weird, right? And it's about how she uses those words and how she creates a story, a unique story with those words that captures your attention, and that's why you want to read it, right? It's the same with drumming and your rudiments. It's how you apply them around the drum kit. Of course, you need to know the rudiments, singles, doubles, and a combination parallels. If you know that already, you can play anything at will, literally. So it's kind of the same with drumming, right? We're creating a story, and we need to have the tools to create that story. So today I want to share a little bit about how you do that, right? And you can play those melodies that they sound uniquely like yours, and you create some cool drum fills. And most drummers get stuck, playing those rudiments, and they're, practicing one fill from YouTube or Instagram. They play that fill and they're like, yes, I got it. And then they take that to the rehearsal, they take that on stage, and then that moment's there, that drum fill's coming, and then you end up playing. You're like, I missed it again. All right, let's try it again tomorrow. You want to have the ability to play spontaneous melodic flows of the things that you know, of your rudiments, right? That create drum fills and musical phrases. Okay, that's what I'm going to help you with today, and Koen, of course, as well. Amazing drummer, super excited what he's sharing today as well. And today we're going to use groupings of 3 and 5 in 16th notes. All right, and these 3s and 5s are going to give us the ability to create melodies. That's what we're here for. All right, so let's take that group of 3, which is actually right, left, left, Or actually, you know what? For the sake of drum fills and getting clear on melodies, I'm going to play my right hand on the four tom today, just so you have an idea of what it sounds like, right? So right F left. Pretty easy, right? Then the grouping of 5 in basically it's a group of 3 with another right left in front of it. So it's right left right left left. All right? Right. So right hand on the four tom, left hand on the snare. We're going to play those snares as soft as possible today, as those notes, right? So keep in mind that we're working towards a certain checkpoint. First, we want to control these patterns, right? And then you're getting to another checkpoint. Like the biggest goal would be to be freely with the groupings of 3 and 5, moving them around the drum kit in a melodic phrase, right? So in the end, it might sound something like this. I'll give an example of what you're working towards. A lot slower, and I'll expand a little bit on that. So you have an idea of what you're working towards. These were just groups of 3 and 5 orchestrated around your drum kit with different kind of patterns. I started with the pattern that we're using today. And I changed how I played the pattern a little bit. But later, a little bit more on that. So, we have to get some exercises, right? We need some examples to build towards that goal. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a few one-bar fills with some groupings that Koen will share in the chat so that you can see what we're actually playing. I've created 6 examples, and we're just going to play through that so that you can build confidence in using these melodic phrases, and in the end, you'll be able to freely move it around and literally have that spontaneous melodic flow instead of sticking to that one-bar fill, all right? This one-bar fill is not the goal. These are examples which will translate into a free creative freedom, so to say. So example 1 is 3-5-3-5, which comes down to 16 notes, right? One-bar fill. So slowly. So I'll play my kick on the ones so that you know where it is, and I'll tap my hi-hat along on the quarter note so that you know where we are. Example number 2 is 3-3-5-5, right? Clearly hear the melody between the floor tom and the snare drum and the hi-hat on the quarter note, right? This was a cool one. I like this one. So the next one, example number 3, would be 3-5-5-3, all right? in the beginning, it might be a little bit hard to really know where I'm at once you play a little bit faster and those melodies kind of go right over the quarter notes. So that's okay. That will grow on you, all right? Just for the sake of this masterclass, I'm putting a lot of steps that you need to take in just one, like 30 minutes. All right, example number 4, 5-3, 5-3. Freedom of speech. I made a little change in there. Example number 5, 5-5-3-3. Wave at me question. Example number 6, 5-3-3-5. All right, pretty cool melodies, right? Well, the next step, you play the groove and then play a fiddle. So I'll play one bar groove and then I'll play a fiddle. And I'm gonna play one bar groove example and so on until we've had all the examples. I'll slow and I'll speed it up a little bit. A little faster.
So Eddie, I have a question because you play all the combinations after each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to copy paste the examples. I'm doing them one by one now
Okay.
because it shows like this.
Oh, you can only show one. Yeah.
So can we start? You know what? Starting from the first one.
Yeah, example number 1 has a drum.
Exactly. So I go here and
I'll
it's
repeat that a few times.
Yes. Could you repeat that a few times?
Okay, let's do it. Okay, slow version.
So that's
3-5-3-5.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Wrong example.
Sorry, guys. It's this one.
Example 3-5-3-5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second example is 3-3-5-5.
Yeah.
Let's repeat that a few times.
Second. Yeah.
Example number 3, 3-5-5-3. Example number 4, 5, 3, 5, 3. Example number 5, 5, 5, 3, 3.
Oh, yeah. And
5,
that's
5,
6,
3,
right?
3.
Okay.
Last one, 6. 5, 3, 3, 5.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, sounds pretty cool, right? You have all these different melodies already. And of course, there's way more possibilities orchestrating it around the kit, but we're not there yet, right? You first want to be able to ingrain that pattern into your system just using one tom or snare, right? You can also do it just on your snare or with your right hand on your hi-hat, whatever you find most comfortable learning the pattern with, all right? These are the steps. And we're building and we're going through different checkpoints where we need to go before we have the freedom to actually go all out. All right. Now, these were one-bar examples, yeah, but there are different ways to expand that vocabulary beyond the 1 bars. Because if we just practice those 1-bar fills, we'll end up with just 1-bar fills. But remember, the goal is to have that spontaneous melodic flow coming to you or from you while you're playing. You're just grooving around, and there's a possibility for you to play a groove with your band. And you're like, all right, I'm going to take that, and your fill comes out, right? Something of those 3s and 5s comes out because it allows you to play a melody. Okay. So to go beyond those 1-bar examples, we're going to work on 2-bar examples. So we build a little bit more confidence over the bar. So I did not just copy the examples that we did, but I made the 2-bar example so that it skips the 1 of the 2nd bar. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So example number 1 is 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3. One more time. 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3. Okay? Right hand on 4-tom, left hand on the snare. Let's go. Okay, one more time. Faster. It's okay if you get lost a little bit. It's really hard to keep that backbeat going. It's very useful to play it really slow on a click, or even count out loud for yourself, or even sing it over a click. So a little bit faster. Okay. Example number 2 is 3, 5, 3, 3. 5, 5, 3, 5. Okay, I'm going to put it right here so I can see a little bit better. Okay, slow example. Even slower. Let's do it even slower. Pretty cool melody as well, right? If you're pretty new to this, see if you can just listen to the different melodies that occur, right? So example number 3, 5, 3, 5, 5, 3, 5, 3, 3. Okay? Slowly. A little bit faster. Good. Example number 4. 5-5-3-5. 5-3-3-3. This is one of my favorite sections. We were just playing with this before the live session, and it's really nice to have those last threes at the ending. So, sorry. My mistake. We'll get a little bit more context later when we're playing it in a groove as well. But it should help you to develop the freedom to play those melodies around the kit, right? Last double or a 2-bar example, 3-3-5-3, 3-5-5-5. So there's 3 5s in the end, which is also pretty cool. Okay, slows. My mistake. I'm going to play all these examples in a groove as well.
Let's go.
Now, you might get a little bit confused as well with how it sounds and those melodies going over the part. That's totally fine, right? I'm going through this master class with material that you should normally stretch over weeks, if not months, if not years even, right? So don't think that you should be able to do this at once or after this YouTube class. You go behind your kit and you're going to practice that. You're going to fail. So you need to practice, right? You only going to get with practice and playing slow. So example number 1.
By the way, we were with a nice small group of people, 5 people watching, including myself.
Nice.
So that should fill the room here. So welcome all.
Nice. Was there a question?
There's no question. I just wanted to share that we're in a room full of people.
Awesome. Okay, so example number 1, 3-5-5-5, 3-3-5-3. Let's see if I can get it. All right, in the slow groove. Confused yet? Example number 2, 3-5-3-3, 5-5-3-5. 3, 5355 3533. All right. Well, let's leave those last two examples. I think you get the idea of how you can create these melodies with breaking free from a standard, right? Which is not bad. Those still work in that place for sure. Definitely. I would never see you should never play those 4 groups of 4 anymore. But allowing yourself to develop that ability to create a phrase whenever you want it and however you want it is key to become more creatively free around the drum kit. And this is just the iceberg, right? These are just some ideas that you can build on. But what if we can actually, or I'll give you some tips on how you can expect in the series what you're working on, because it doesn't stay with this pattern. You can change the pattern and right, left, right, right? Let's see what happens. So there's different patterns. I'll play a little bit with that around, moving between different patterns and kind of freely using those 3s and 5s whenever and wherever. All right. All right. So I hope this gives you an idea or a starting point at least of how you can play one of these playing better feels that sound unique and nobody else is playing. Thank you for watching, and if you are excited about this, find me on Instagram, come to Hertz. That's the best way to just have an hour of masterclass around this topic. So hope to see you at Hertz. And let's give it up for Koen. And while he's going to change his symbols,
have a little talk about it.
And his seat, of course. Yeah. So this is actually something that you can find on my Instagram, my course, my online course, but also my ebook series, where I go way more on topic and how to build that whole vocabulary and being more creatively free in playing drum fills. Because that's something I've struggled with for years, and I'm just super excited to share that with other people so that you can actually play the fills that you want to play. And Koen right here has a totally different approach, right? He is an amazing drummer, crazy dude. And that's sort of fun that once we get in the room, we always start talking about, oh, I'm working on this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, oh, but I'm working on this. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, share with other drummers as well what you are working on. That's also a very to grow yourself to become a better drummer.
Yes, for sure. Like always, just now I get inspired as well to do some fills. Actually, thinking of doing a similar grouping I'll show, but I'll also do some other because it's a bit similar. Can you see if there's anyone watching? I mean, we're gonna keep this online.
We still have 3 people watching, people.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. See it like, if there will be 3 people here in the room, it's the same thing. So, welcome everyone, still, or new people, or thank you for staying around. Gonna adjust my little snare drum here. Let me see. Alright. You got your earplugs in? Your earplugs in? I got it. I'll warm up for a second. And then take notes of the questions, right? Alright. We're just talking about how different it plays. I got a kid with a 22 kick there, 22 by 18, the hole in the front head, and it's just a small kick, and it's so different. You're right. So different. Right. Like Eddie, I use a lot of for instance, this pattern of 6, and Eddie knows it. We studied it together years ago. It's and then right, left, left again. And then mind dynamics, so not but the first thing is and then another X and goes. Yeah, like this. I'll just show you. It's better. As fast as you go, the more important is to keep that dynamic. Play like every note, even. It'll be like it's also for yourself to keep up. Like, where am I? Where's the pattern going? It's like you get it. So that's a 6, and I play it as a 6 doublet. You can orchestrate it around the kit, like that was a bit sloppy. What I also like to do is incorporate the hi-hat. So instead of like for instance the left hand on the hi-hat. First note on the kick, you can use a step in on the hi-hat. So instead of I do the step in as the first note. It's a cool exercise for independence or coordination. It's a cool exercise in general. Hands on it. sticks because we got the Hairsfest drumsticks and they play really nice. They're 5/8. It's underneath the harp case.
Oh, here.
So drum roll, please. We got special drumsticks.
Woo!
Hairsfest, 10 years, guys. 10 years of my drum festival. And we got special sticks.
Insane.
Any questions, or we just keep going? Right?
Well, I do have a question.
All right.
Because do you use this pattern in 16th notes or 32nd notes as well, in straight time?
I use it a lot as sextuplet indeed, but you should always practice it in triplet and in straight form, I said. So let me try to do that. I'll keep my hi-hat going. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 6, 6, and usually when I do 6, 6, I add a 4, which makes 16. 12 plus 4. In this case, I would do the 4 really powerful. You can crash with left. Slow. So it's a new pattern for me, so I'm discovering it as well. I like how it
I love that orchestration on the toms as well. It's super powerful.
And without the snare straight. This little voice in your head saying, oh, that was not tight or that was not right. Well, that's true because I'm just discovering it here live, and it just shows you that you can create anything you want with this tool as well. So again, I'm just gonna do it slow and have fun with it. Just the same pattern. Is pretty cool as well. I'm not used to play like right, right, left, right. So that's also for me a good way of practicing. You get the more you should it's not about fast. That's my point actually.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Say what?
Slow is smooth,
yeah,
and smooth is fast.
There you go. Slow is smooth.
The beautiful thing with this is how we always practice. When we come together, we come up with new things, just like you're doing right now. Like, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
that's really what people should do.
Yeah, I think so too, and also I really like to incorporate the hi-hat. Remove your snare during practice. It's also a nice tip to get more in a sort of tribal flow. So back to the sextuplets. a 9 by adding 3. So you got the sextuplet and then adding a kick right left, just like Eddie before. For instance, which is 6, 6, 3, 6. That's help me out here.
Are you playing still sextuplets?
You gotta play like 24 sextuplets, right? To play 4 times 6, you get 6, 6, 3. No, 3, 3, 6. So yeah, so yeah, 6, 6. Double 3, 6.
It's math.
Yeah, it's like it's about, and that's what Eddie said, recognizing the patterns internally. You got right to it as well. Turning on the snare again. Turn it on. So. But I'm practicing. Yes.
What is a way to get started with? So now you're repeating patterns, but you're just kind of improvising, right?
I am improvising with a certain pattern, like yeah. So I got the pattern down, and from there on I try to play with dynamics, and also a little bit of a hurtful shoulder, so not too crazy, and adding a cymbal to it. So to get started is basically getting the pattern down first.
Yeah.
So you gotta learn the pattern, and actually to make the transition to the other thing I wanted to say is of course we all, you know, those you learn those fills, especially when you start. But there's also nothing wrong with just 16th over your kit, as long as you do it in a musical way. If it works, it works. But I often tell my students, yo, go ahead and just play 16, but then try to make something out of it. Check it out. I only play 16s. Only 16s with the hands. So basically this. First time when I added that hi, I did something else. So if you take this as a basic principle, that just right left can be all fun as well, imagine what you can do with a 3 or a 5 or a 4 or a 6 or combine it. And yeah, then learning all those patterns and then playing with dynamics. Like the 9. So how I start with that, it's literally playing the pattern. Got any questions? Is there anyone in the room? Or
Yeah, 4 people.
4 people.
On and off, 4 or 5 people.
Guys, you got any questions for me or Eddie? I'm not sure about the time. It's also the first time we are doing this. So maybe you guys can give us some feedback in the comments how the sound is, because we're just doing it on an iPhone and I think it should work. We tested it on the hallway here. So maybe if you got any feedback, like voice louder or drum softer. Drum softer? What? Or maybe in the comments, the 5 and 3, maybe we should have that in the PDF, because Eddie has a great, he has great books with PDFs written out and everything. Maybe it's better to see.
We'll drop that in the description later.
Yeah, we can do it in the description later. Any feedback at all or question, you can just let us know. Yeah, I think.
We have about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk a bit about the festival, or.
That'd be great as well.
Yeah, also because I, for the first time I think in my my life, I got a little injury in my shoulder. So I'm taking it easy because I got a drum fest in 2 weeks, and I gotta be. Also, I'm playing a big show tomorrow, so I'm not gonna force myself. That's the important lesson. Don't force yourself when you're in pain. I had that with playing double bass with a death metal band. Sometimes I went on when I had pain and I barely could walk after. So that's like, it's never a good signal when you have pain in your hands or your shoulder. Like now, I have a little shoulder pain. Always listen to your body. This is really basic, but do it. Because I know also quite some students who just went ahead and then they played themselves until they were broken. They couldn't play anymore. So that's one lesson to learn as well. For me, this is the 10th time I organized the drum festival. And it started out as a joke actually here in the rehearsal center with all kinds of clinics. And then it grew out to be the main drum festival of the Benelux. We even had 2 editions in Belgium, in Antwerp. And we invited all the greats, Terry Wozio, Morgan Agren, Aaron Spears. He's not here anymore, unfortunately, but it was an amazing experience hanging out with him and learning from him. Kaz Rodriguez.
Benny Grapp.
We had Benny Grapp, we had Annika Nilles, we had Virgil Donati. It's so crazy to realize how many drummers we invited, and at one point I thought, you know what? After 10 years, who else would I want to invite? I'm not sure. This year we got Gergo Borlai. He's amazing as well. We got Dennis Chambers, by the way, too, a few years ago. So, you know what? We thought after 10 years, maybe it's good like this. We showed the world, we inspired a lot of people, and also for myself, but you know what? Time for other things. So maybe a little Herses presents a clinic by who not, like by anyone. I'm going to focus on education and work on my own video program, work on my own music, and yeah, I just wanted to share that with you.
What would be the main tip when, we're talking about developing your own sound? Like
Yeah.
You have a very specific sound. If I walk by a room, I can hear it's you.
Yeah.
What would you say is a good tip for people to like, hey, I want to play uniquely, my kind of feels, my kind of style and sound?
Well, first, my tip is look for music styles and bands that you really love, and then copy those styles. Start and play those albums. When I started out, I played every Dream Theater album. I played Deep Purple, I played Pantera, I played Limp Bizkit, I played Korn, and then I tried even to play some Dave Weckl fusion, and I tried to play Stereo. I just tried to copy all the drummers, just play whatever I heard, and then soon I became pretty like talented and all that stuff. Um, or I was talented, and then soon you're like a prodigy. But in a few years, that's gone. You know, it's fun to be like a 18-year-old or 20-year-old YouTube star, and then what? Because yeah, like after 18 or 20, it's no talent anymore. Then it's just, hey, welcome to the music world, and then you gotta see how am I gonna develop myself. And what I did is I always made music myself, and I recorded myself. And for instance, with Vandenberg, the way I play a little kick, snare, hi-hat, it's with like my whole body into it, my whole feel. I often see drummers, and I don't want to be too negative, for sure not, but the question came, how do you develop your own sound?
Yeah.
Well, one example is don't be afraid, no, don't be like those drummers who sit there, oh, it's just kick, snare, hi-hat. Oh, it's so easy. That's just plain wrong. And I see that happening a lot in jam sessions or any gig where the drummer is like, oh, it's just boom tuck, it's too easy for me. And then he waits for his big moment to do his fill, and then believe it or not, he speeds up as well. So you know, you're out. It's if you can enjoy the simple, yeah, the easiness, the simpleness of a backbeat, just playing, and it sounds like a cliche because when I was younger, I always thought, oh, boring. I want to play, you know, all that complicated stuff. But that's basically what it is. If you want to play in a band and make music and go live, you want to make the people dance, even if you're in a rock band. With Vandenberg, when I play a boom, tack, doom, I'll just try some different approaches of that. So you can play like this and sit like this. And then not be bothered at all. But people see that, they feel that, they see you on stage. Well, the moment you're on stage, you gotta believe yourself. If you don't believe yourself, no one's gonna believe you, and they're not gonna take you serious. So you can also say like, okay, same beat. Directly moving your hand, you know, moving along with the beat. Not per se playing louder. I might play a bit louder than most drummers, but you know, hang in it, you know. And what I tend to do is a rim shot. I developed that for my main snare sound as a rim shot. Of course, it's not for nothing there's a dot in the middle and there's a big sound difference, but that's part of my sound to have that rim shot. During recordings with multiple music styles, I change it. But if you ask me, like, if you would go live on a big stadium show or whatever, how you play, it's like this. The dark. No, don't be afraid of big fills. Big, slow, epic fills. People love that. I love it. Eddie loves it.
It's the intention, right?
Huh?
The intention.
Yeah,
with
it's about the intention. Yeah, exactly. That's why all the fast stuff, it's fun during a drum solo, but it usually doesn't work in big settings, in big stages. And I played a lot of big stages, so yeah. 2 minutes to go, guys. So let's.
So I think.
Yeah.
The lesson you take from this is the intention.
Yeah, the intention. It's about the intention. How do you play? With what feeling and what conviction? Yeah. how do you convince yourself and the crowd to feel the music? That's the most important thing. So try to enjoy try to enjoy the boom talk. That's how we say it in Dutch. Like, listen to Michael Jackson, beat it.
Yeah. Steve Jordan is a great example of that. Like when he plays doon chuck, you're dancing.
Exactly. You want to make the people dance, so let's practice and make the people dance. And for the people watching later or the people who were watching, thank you. I think it's time.
Thanks, guys, for watching. This was the first time doing a YouTube live, and of course, here with Koen Herst, we're gonna play on his drum festival. So if you're in the neighborhood, please come and join the drum festival. There are still some tickets left.
Yeah.
We're super excited. We're gonna have a good group of people over there,
It's the last time, guys.
and
10
it's the
years.
last time.